Over the next few minutes, I'm gonna walk you through the exact strategy that we've used to generate over $100 million in the last 6 years. I'm gonna show you how to add another 40%, 50%, or even 60% more revenue to your business without any additional input. Listen, I get it. You're probably sick and tired of all the different gurus and programs that are over-promising and under-delivering. You're tired of the hype and the BS, and I am too. That's why I'm just going to shoot it straight with you. I'm gonna give you a look behind the curtain of my entire system and show you exactly how we operate our business, and I'm gonna show you what we help our clients implement into their businesses. Now, towards the end, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to work with us. If you decide you wanna work with us, great. If not, that's cool too.
Starting a business with absolutely zero money, but it can be done.
Tanner Chidester, the online entrepreneur.
Tanner Chidester, a millionaire entrepreneur.
Tanner Chidester, who's a mega digital entrepreneur. He's got an incredible company called Elite CEOs.
Tanner has generated over $70 million in the online coaching world.
Tanner So if you don't know me, my name is Tanner Chidester. I'm the founder and CEO of Elite CEOs. For the last 6 years, we've been helping coaches, consultants, agencies, and service providers grow and scale their online businesses. We've done over $100 million in revenue and worked with tens of thousands of clients from all over the world in many different industries. Now, I know you're skeptical, and there's so much stuff out there, I get it. I'd be skeptical too. But while tons of gurus have come and gone, our program has continued on. We have helped our clients generate hundreds of millions of dollars, and this is our passion. It's what we love to do, to help people just like you get what they want out of their business. So if you sit with me for just a little bit, I'm gonna make 3 promises to you. First, I promise that you're gonna get insight into how to have consistent sales in your business. I'm gonna show you how to get off that emotional revenue roller coaster. Second, I'm gonna promise to show you how to plug what I call the leaky holes in your bucket. If you can imagine your business as a bucket and you're putting in your leads, appointments, sales calls, and clients into it, you're likely leaking profits because you don't have a solid bucket. So I'm gonna show you what to do to make sure your bucket is airtight. And then third and finally, I'm gonna promise to show you what you need to do to create passive income from your business. You started your business because you wanted to have a positive impact on people, all while at the same time creating an amazing life for yourself and your family. Most likely, what you've created is just a glorified job. So yes, you call the shots, but you're likely not optimizing your business and your time, so you end up making less per hour than some of your team members. So let's get straight into it. Let's talk about creating consistency in your sales. There's nothing worse than the emotional ups and downs that come with inconsistent revenue. 1 month you crushed 100K, and a few months later you made 20K, and then you have to dip into your savings to make payroll, and it's gut-wrenching. I get it, and you're not alone. A lot of our clients come to us in the same exact position. Now, the good news is it's fixable. See, to have consistent sales, you need consistent appointments. To have consistent appointments, you need to have consistent flow of quality leads. And to get a consistent flow of quality leads, you need a marketing strategy that is optimized and efficient. We see a lot of businesses missing out on 20 to 30% of revenue because they aren't taking full advantage of their existing lead flow. They just think they'll spend more on ads and that will solve everything, and honestly, you don't need to. In our business, we have 2 main sources of lead generation. We have organic, and then we have paid ads. Now let's start with organic traffic first. Honestly, this is where most of you should be focusing on until you've hit that 50K to 100K per month mark. This will help you keep your margins much higher. But what's the secret to getting organic traffic to work? It's actually easier than you may think. You need to first produce content that your target audience wants to consume. We create what's called a problem to solution grid. So take a Google Sheet and split it into 2 columns. On one side, list all the problems your target audience is struggling with, and then on the other side, make a list of all the potential solutions. Those solutions become your content strategy. Now, another great strategy to create organic content is to record one-to-one sessions with your clients. We do these in-person one-to-one sessions once per month. A client will fly out to my apartment and I'll sit with them for a couple of hours and do a deep dive into their business. This gives my team a ton of content that can be repurposed across all kinds of platforms. But creating content isn't enough. Most people just post once per day and expect people to magically book calls with them. And that simply doesn't work. You need to initiate action by incorporating calls to action in your content. It doesn't have to be every post, but at least 20% of your posts should offer some sort of a lead magnet or a resource. And the CTA should be to DM or comment, and you and your team should be engaging with those that engage with you. We call these 2 steps and 5 guide posts, and they just flat out work. You need to help your team out by creating inbound leads from your organic content. Now, shifting from organic, Let's now talk about paid strategies. Running paid ads is both an art and a science. Yes, you need to learn the tactical steps of targeting and pushing the correct buttons, but the real success in ads comes in your nurture process. What I mean is the ecosystem that your ad traffic is going into is more important than the actual ad itself. You see, most businesses are losing 50% or more in revenue from their ads because all they do is run ads straight to a page and hope that the customers buy. If you're running to an appointment funnel, then you hope that your BSL will magically get people to schedule a call. Now, a small percentage will book a call or buy from your sales page, but what about the large percentage? Our ad strategy is different. Now, we run our ad traffic straight into Messenger on Facebook and IG. This allows us to deliver our lead magnets immediately so they can opt into our ecosystem. But we also now have the ability to have a genuine conversation with them. It's this conversation that allows us to dramatically speed up the conversion window, and it allows us to connect with the 80% to 90% that don't self-book or buy with us. Now, this core ad strategy is what changed the game for my business. Now, is that our only ad strategy? Of course not. But in addition to running ads directly to Messenger, we also have a significant amount of ad spend that goes towards self-liquidating offers, or SLOs. These are lower priced products anywhere from $7 all the way to $9.97. The goal is to generate revenue while all at the same time generating leads that we can work in on the back end, hence the name self-liquidating. We will also use multi-channel retargeting to run ads to anyone that visits our pages, messages us, or buys one of our self-liquidating low-ticket offers. And even if you're not ready to run ads right now, you should at least have a retargeting campaign set up. Now, let's talk about helping you optimize your profits and plug some of those leaky holes I mentioned earlier. Every business has holes in their bucket. It's just part of running a business. And the key is to plug as many as you can. You can do this by building a rock solid ecosystem that you can put your leads through. We call ours the elite operating system. It starts when we generate leads. Our leads go through a process where they click on an ad that goes into Messenger, then they'll get a link to our lead magnet and opt in, then they'll get an email, a text message, a voicemail drop, and then even a phone call. But because they're in Messenger, we have a team of setters that are personally engaging with them as well. So that's how we maximize our potential to connect with leads. We want as many touch points as possible. Now, once a lead is inside our ecosystem, the nurture process can begin. And remember, I want you to think multiple touch points here. Here's how we nurture. Our leads get daily emails. We do a weekly email blast, usually a 2-step offer. We do voicemail blasts. We do social 2-steps to reactivate DM conversations. We also will do live webinars. We do live in-person events. We offer free and low-ticket courses. We have a private community, and we go to great lengths to make sure our social content is actually helping our market. Now, we get sales from doing all of those things, but just from our daily email blast, we'll get about 15% of our sales each month from those. If you aren't doing these things, you're missing out on money, period, end of story. So the purpose of lead nurture is to get people on the phone. And if all you're relying on is your basic calendar reminders, then you're losing appointments. You need to nurture appointments the same way you nurture leads, with multiple touch points. When someone schedules a call with us, we don't just cross our fingers and then hope they show up. What we do is we use multiple touch points to ensure that the right people end up on our calendar and that the people actually show up. We start this process even before they hit our calendar. Now, what we do is we use a form that has logic-based questions built into it, and then based on their answers, we're gonna try and weed out the people that aren't right for our offer. We'll usually redirect those people to one of our low-ticket offers. Now, once someone does schedule a call, our setters will actually connect with them via text or DM and verify any questions that we need verified. Now, of course, the lead will receive appointment email, SMS, and voicemail confirmation, but we don't stop there. We'll also send a personalized image confirmation that has the name of the lead on the custom image that is created instantly using our system. The appointment reminders are then set for the day before, the day of, an hour before, and 10 minutes before. Each reminder sends an email, text, and voicemail. Now, if you aren't doing all those things, then it's likely that you're either letting really bad looks end up on your calendar, so your closing percentage is suffering, or your no-show rate is so high that good looks are ending up on the call, so you're losing money. Now, the next phase of our elite operating system is the sales call. Now, to run a perfect sales call, there's going to be 7 or 8 steps. Now, the first one is going to be the intro and the pre-frame, where you set the stage for the call. The second thing will be the questions or discovery, where you start to discover where your prospect is at, what they're struggling with, and then what the ultimate vision is. Number 3 is what I call pointing out the flaws, where you get them to commit and agree to the problems they're having and that they need help. Number 4 is then you're gonna go through what I call the 3 pillars. The 3 pillars should be the 3 main things that you can bring to the table that either show a different mechanism you use than competitors or something of authority. So you've done 100 million in sales, or you've had businesses for 20 years, something of that nature. Once you have made your point, number 5 is you'll go to what I call a brief program overview. And when I say brief, 5 minutes or less, where you simply state the deliverables they're gonna get. Once you've done that, you'll move to number 6, where you're going to create certainty or get as high of certainty as possible. Now remember, the point of a sales call is if we can get maximum certainty or 100% certainty, plus they have funds, then they will buy. So the goal there is to get as close to 100% before moving into the price drop. Number 7 is then we will do the price drop. And then number 8 is we're going to attack objections. Now there's tons of objections people can use, but typically the main 4 is price, spouse, time, and belief. And without going into a ton of detail, the way that you would beat this is by pushing the prospect into a corner where they agree that the only concern they have is that one simple thing. And then once you have beaten that particular objection, there should be no other reason that they don't buy. If you do this flawlessly and you learn how to do it through repetition, experience, and sales training, you should close at a very high clip. So most clients are closing at, I would say, 15 to 20% less than they could be, and you can increase your profit margin by 20 to 30% just by improving your sales team and their skills. So the next part is once you have mastered sales and you want to start moving to a sales team or having people take the calls for you, how do you structure that? So very simple way to do it is you will have a daily sales meeting. The first thing you'll do for the first 5 to 10 minutes is go over any admin. So sheets, questions, any concerns they have, and then you'll move into an hour-long sales call review. And the way I like to do it is we'll put it on 1.5 to 2x speed so we can get through the entire call while pausing it and helping them with different objections or questions that they have about the call. The next thing is outside of the daily sales meeting, you can have one-to-ones with less experienced reps, or if someone's more experienced, you might have a private one-to-one a week. But depending on how much help they need or what they're struggling with, you will up the one-to-ones that you'll have, or if they're more experienced, you'll have less one-to-ones. In conjunction with that, we also have sheets where they will have their closing percentage, how many price drops they've had, meaning how many times did they tell the prospect the price, how many no-shows, how many cancellations, so we can evaluate how well they're doing. Now, if you're doing a good job, or your sales team, is doing a good job, they should be closing anywhere between 30 to 40% of the calls where they drop the price. Now, when it comes to hiring your first sales rep, if you've never done it before, what I like to do is I will have a script that they can follow with a video training. They will also have recorded calls that I've taken on closes because I only want them listening to good calls. On the interview, if everything checks out, I will send them over the recordings and the script, and then when they say they're ready, I will give them a live practice call. Now, the call I will give them typically is going to be a call I would usually cancel, meaning if they don't close it, it's not a big deal because I usually wouldn't take this call anyway because it wasn't a great application. After they take that call and record it, I will listen to it to evaluate if they're worth training. And keep in mind, when I say worth training, I usually want to find someone who's a 7 out of 10 on a talent scale and try to get them to a 10. Trying to get someone from a 3 to a 7 isn't going to help your business much. Then in terms of how long it should take to ramp them up, if they can't get it going in the first 30 days, I usually will let them go because typically, if they're not already selling at a high clip to begin with, it doesn't get much better. And then if you're gonna let someone go, the way, or you're considering it, the way that I usually would do is let them know that they are on the chopping block and they need to improve. And then you can bring someone in to compete with them so you're never in a bad situation where you're just guessing or crossing your fingers and hoping it works. Okay, so now that you've closed them, you're still not done. And if you think you are, you're probably missing out on a ton of money. Client success is crucial, so the fulfillment process needs to be dialed in. And then that's the next portion of our elite operating system. Your goal should be to provide an amazing experience for your customers for 2 reasons. Because you want to help them, and because you want them to continue working with you for a long time and therefore increase the LTV of your customers. The key to a great client experience is just to make them feel loved. We do that using a combination of automation and personalized attention to make our clients feel like we care. The first thing we do is have an automation that starts to initiate the onboarding process. We use automation to automatically create a project in our project management software and invite the client to it. Then we'll welcome the client with email, text, and voicemail, as well as a personalized image. Then schedule their first onboarding call. Then we will grant them access to the resources, and then finally notify their coach that the client is ready. From there, our goal is to make sure we are delivering a great experience for the client. So we want to make sure we get them a quick win. So we have a 7-day push where our goal is to get them a positive result in their business in the first 7 days. We also make sure that our coaches are adaptable and can help a client and their individual needs. We will also use automation for weekly check-in texts and voicemails, and we'll set proper expectations in the very beginning so we can underpromise and overdeliver. We want to make sure to touch the clients often with support, and we have an ascension process that guides clients through a natural progression of learning and puts them on the right path for their business. This ascension process leads them into working with us longer and, of course, increasing the LTV of the customer. All right, so now that we've talked a lot about creating a rock solid system, but what good is it if you're working 16-hour days, 7 days per week? Where is this laptop lifestyle that you've heard about? Wouldn't it be cool to disappear to Brazil for a month and have your business carry on without you? It sounds crazy, but last month I actually spent the entire month there and didn't have to worry about my business. Why? Because I built a system that can work independent of me. And does that mean I don't have to be involved? Of course not, I'm the CEO, but it does mean that the core of the business can function without me if it needs to. So how did I do this? Well, it starts with making sure you have the right systems in place. Our entire company runs on a custom software that we create and that we give all our clients called Elite 360. And having everything we need in one place makes it so much easier for my team to function and operate. Second, you need to find the right people. I've found most of my most talented team members from my personal referrals. And honestly, I'd stay away from the job seekers. I mean, think about it. The best people are likely not unemployed. And that isn't to say there aren't some good people out there that are looking. It's just in my experience, the best people tend to be already involved with something else. So personal referrals are key. And whatever process you're using, make sure that you're hiring the right people that can help you buy back your time. You should be replacing tasks that aren't vital, but suck up your time. Even if that's little things in your life, such as cleaning or errands. And as your business grows beyond setters and lead generation team members, you're gonna wanna find a little mini you. Someone that understands all the aspects of your business and that knows how to help plug the holes into the bucket. This isn't going to be an easy hire and it might not be cheap, but the peace of mind it's going to give you is priceless. And if you're constantly trying to be everywhere all the time, doing and micromanaging everything, you're going to burn out and your business isn't going to grow. At the end of the day, it comes down to having a solid system that you've proven to work and then plugging the right people into the pieces of that system. And yes, you'll have less profit margin as your business grows, but the freedom your team can give you is priceless. So all this makes sense, right? Then why don't all businesses have this in place? The answer is because it's hard. And that's why you're here, to learn about my system, to hopefully get some insight that's going to make your journey a bit easier. But what if it could be even easier? What if you could have us come work alongside you in your business and help you implement these exact strategies? Most of the businesses we evaluate aren't doing half the things we do. That means they are likely missing out on 40% to 80% of additional revenue for the exact same input. So think about that. If you are currently closing 100K per month, you could be looking at 40K to 80K in profit that you're losing out on because you don't have a rock solid operating system. Think of it like the gold prospectors in the 1840s. All of these people on the east coast of the US heard about this gold in California. They knew that they could be rich if they found it, but they had to first get there and then mine the gold. But how do they get there? How do they know where to dig? What tools do they use? Is there any help? What Elite CEOs does for our clients is give you the map to the gold. So in essence, we give you the tools and the systems to get there, and we give you the guidance along the way. Now, is it easy? No. Is it gonna happen overnight? Absolutely not. But we've worked with tens of thousands of clients over the years, and we've seen some amazing success stories by simply following our map and using our tools and guidance. So if you'd like to see if we can help you and potentially work with us, down below this video, you'll see a button to click on to complete a short form. This is a business evaluation form and will give us some insight into your business. Now, don't let the questions scare you off. We just need some info about your current operating system, and if you qualify, we'll allow you to schedule a free business evaluation call. Now, on that call, we'll do a deep dive into your systems and try to help you create a solution. If you feel that you want to work with us to make that process smoother, great. If not, that's fine too. At least you will have some clarity on exactly what you can be doing to optimize your profits now. So click the button down below to start the application, and we'll see you on the other side.